Okay, so we're going with 5 different retirement account plans. That's different. Normally I do 4, but we're going with 5 different retirement plans that you can open if you don't have a 401k, or let's say you're a business that wants to help with some retirement plans and you can't start a 401k. So let's dive into it. Quit messing around here. We're going to give you all the details as we go. By the way, this just came out. 1.26 million is what people believe they need to have in retirement. That's actually up. Inflation, right? I thought that was cool. All right, first thing. We're going to look, I should say, option 1, individual retirement accounts. We've got your traditional IRA and your Roth IRA to start. There's a bunch of others. We'll cover those as well. But a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA is going to be the best place to start. They're the simplest to set up. They have the easiest sort of tax understanding there. Traditional IRAs, you put in money, you get a tax deduction, provided that you fit within that window. It's a pretty big window. You grow the money tax deferred. You pay the tax in the future. Me and Eric just did a great breakdown on this if you want to watch one of those other videos. A Roth IRA, I like a little bit better, even if your income is higher, by the way. We can often figure out that a Roth IRA is still better, provided you're allowed to contribute or do a backdoor. The reason is money grows tax-free, right? And so wait a second, because we're actually going to cover a different type of IRA that has a Roth as well. It's not just a Roth IRA. But what I really like about this is it grows tax-free, and you don't have RMDs, required minimum distributions. All right, options number 2 and 3. If you're self-employed, you're a gig worker and things like that, some of these come into play. They get to be a little bit more complex. I'm starting on the left with the most simple one. It's a SEP IRA. And by the way, they now have a Roth SEP IRA, which is really cool. Why would it matter? Why wouldn't I just go with a Roth IRA? It's because you, as the employer, right, as the self-employed individual, you can make contributions up to 25% of your income, or $70,000, whatever the max is. So if you're like a super saver and you want to use a SEP or a Roth SEP IRA, you're making some good money out there growing the side business, cool. You might want to look at that. Also, very super simple to set up. We do these all the time for clients. And if you're thinking about looking for an advisor, JazzWealth, we can help you out. Now, from here, it gets a little bit more complicated. Not horrible, but now we're going into what's called a solo 401k. And then the only difference here is for someone who's over the age of 50. There's a new rule there. So a solo 401k, it's a little more complex to set up, and you can't play like favorites here, how you do this. But it is an option. We don't often find that we need to do that for clients. It gets to be a little bit of a mess when you could just use a SEP IRA, and especially now that they have the Roth SEP IRA. A lot of times back in the day, we'd go with a solo 401k because people wanted to have the Roth portion or have the Roth election in there. So that's an option as well. If you're the employer and you're planning on growing a business, you might just set up a regular 401k as you grow. Wait till you grow. All right, my least favorite is a simple IRA, because it's not simple. I don't know why they come up with this. It's not simple. You can't contribute as much. It's a little bit tricky here. It's ideally for businesses that have fewer than 100 employees. And what I don't like about it here is you're required to match. And as the individual that has the SEP IRA, you are required to leave it in place for 2 years. Like, you can't just move it around. Like, you know how you change your cell phone plan and you're like, I'm gonna go with, T-Mobile or whatever. You can't. No, it's got to stay there. Otherwise, there's penalties. And it also has, like I said a minute ago, lower limits there. So if you're a super saver anyways, remember the IRA from earlier, 7,000 or 8,000 if you're over the age of 50. If you're already going to try to save a ton more, you might as well just have the SEP IRA, provided that you fit, right? This gets a little, we need to make sure that your life, your business life, your individual self-employment life may look a little bit different so that we don't mess anything up. But as you can see, I mean, if you're a super saver, you have better options. The biggest thing is, you got to get started, right? If you're already looking, you're like, I don't have a 401k, what do I do? Start with the IRA or the Roth. You can always change your mind. Did you know that? Right? You can start with the IRA, completely change your mind and go, I meant to do the Roth, right? You can start with the Roth IRA and go, this sucks, I want to do the Roth SEP IRA. You are not committed to keeping the same account. You are committed to keeping the money in one of those accounts without paying a penalty or anything. So that's, keep that in mind. Of course, if you need help, this is what we do here. We hope you'll check us out. Got a little action plan slide. This was last second, put this together here. If you don't have a 401k, I just mentioned the IRA, little by little, get after it. If you're younger or lower income, and I would even argue a little bit higher income, again, me and Eric kind of talked about this the other day, getting more detail. Look for the Roth, right? If you're curious on if you can even start one, just let us know. We're happy to help you with that. Then you go into the other stuff here as you get to be more complex with maybe how your life looks. And then just for fun, we throw in a slide that's not going to work here. So there you go. Starting at age 20, saving $330 a month versus starting at 40, you got to save $1,547 a month to reach the number that we just talked about. And I forgot to put the slide in there. So that was just a cool little graph that would show you how you would get there. But the concept is, if you're 20 years old and by chance, between you and your employer or whatever, you're putting in $330 a month, you get to 1.26 million. It's $1,500 by the time you get to be an old man like me, right? So get a head start there. And of course, if you want to get started at any age with any starting balance or whatever, JazzWealth.com. Feel free to send us an email. You can start on our website or even give us a call if you'd like. Haley's been manning the phones there lately. We have no sales pitch. I'm just happy to chat with you and see what happens. We're out there trying to grow a healthy and fun little business. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Enjoy. We'll see you soon.
We all want more. Let's open the door. Introducing the Dose Score.